Alright, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Chakwadash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the whole elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be. Wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom, Yeshua, Shalom. Now I have a question up here. Well, actually, it's not even really a question. It's more like a demand. This is not the main one that I want to get. This is actually a second page that I pulled up, and we're going to go back to the first one in a second, but I want to read this first for a reason. So I've typed in what is stablecoin in the most basic breakdown of what it is. Now this is a question, but in the other one, alright, the main thing wasn't really a question. So this is what I pulled up. So it says, what is a stablecoin? A stablecoin is a type of cryptocurrency designed to maintain a stable market value by pegging its price to a reserve asset, such as a fiat currency like the US dollar, a commodity like gold, or even another cryptocurrency. Unlike cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which experience high volatility, stablecoins aim to provide price stability, making them suitable for everyday transactions, cross-border payments, and use in decentralized finance, alright, or DeFi. Okay. So it says stablecoins are digital assets that attempt to maintain a consistent value, often pegged to a fiat currency like the US dollar. They are designed to be less volatile than other cryptocurrencies, making them more practical for various financial activities. Right? It says, there we go. It says stablecoins address the volatility issue of traditional cryptocurrencies by linking their value to a more stable asset. This is typically achieved through different mechanisms, including backing by reserved or of fiat currency, commodities, or other cryptocurrencies, or through algorithmic methods. Now, how does it work? So stablecoins achieve their stability through various mechanisms. The main types include fiat-backed stablecoins. These are backed by a reserve of fiat currency, typically held in a bank account. For example, US dollar coin, or USDC, and Tether, USDT. Well, I guess that's probably US dollar Tether, maybe. It says are pegged a 1-to-1 ratio to the US dollar, meaning that for every stable coin issue, there is an equivalent dollar in reserve. Okay. Commodity-backed stable coins. These are backed by commodities such as gold, silver, or oil. Crypto-backed stable coins. These are backed by other cryptocurrencies, often over-collateralized to account for price fluctuations. For example, DAI is backed by Ethereum and other crypto assets. Algorithmic stablecoins. These use algorithms and smart contracts to automatically adjust supply based on demand to maintain stability. Terra USD, or UST, was an example of an algorithmic stablecoin, but it collapsed in 2022. Now then it goes on to say why I think that's okay. Yeah. So why stablecoins are important. Alright, stable coins offer several key benefits. Lower volatility. They provide more price stability than conventional cryptocurrencies. Instant global transactions. They enable fast and low fee international transactions, which is what we mentioned the other day when we spoke about the coming and going of the Fed Now. Alright, that Fed Now thing, that was a big talk, and then it came, and then it was like, oh, okay, so just Fed Now, right? Like they just kind of breezed over it, but that doesn't mean it went away. Alright, basically connecting international banks, alright, one with another. They're going to do that because America's going to have a digital bank system, alright, the CBDC, and other countries are going to have a CBDC, and then those cross-border platforms, you know, like we mentioned, Fed Now, the app thing or whatever, those are to help stabilize, you know, transactions between one central bank to another central bank from country to country. And they may not be needed when the full system is rolled out. We don't know, but that's what the purpose of it was. Use in DeFi. They are used in smart contracts and decentralized applications. Accessibility. They provide access for individuals and countries with unstable currencies. Now it says use cases of stable coins. Stable coins have various applications. Okay, well, I guess we'll read it. Applications in both traditional finance and the blockchain ecosystem. Cross-border payments, as we just talked about, they are used to avoid delays and fees in international transactions, because immediately the funds are sent. If I got, I don't know, I say I got a girlfriend that went to France for her job for a month, and she needed some funds. She was low, and I send them, and she gets them immediately. No 24-hour wait, no 48-hour wait, no 3-day wait, no week wait, no nothing. Immediately those funds, I'm guessing probably within the next couple of minutes, those funds are transferred to our bank account, and she could pull them right out of that foreign bank. Right? So it says DeFi. They are used as collateral, liquidity pairs, and what the heck is happening? I see my what is going on over here? I see a line moving up the top. I don't know what that was. Anyways, and yield farming tools and DeFi crypto exchanges. They are used as a safe trading pair and value store during periods of volatility. Remittances. They are used for sending money across borders with near zero fees. Payroll and merchant payments. They are increasingly used by businesses paying remote workers or accepting cryptocurrency. Risk and challenges. Alright, last section here. Despite their advantages, stablecoins face several risks. Regulatory uncertainty. Governments are still defining how to regulate them. Centralization concerns. Fiat-backed models raise centralization concerns. So they're not even saying too much here. Same thing over and over. So it's okay. That's all we need from there. In essence, a stablecoin is a cryptocurrency designed to maintain a stable value, typically pegged to a fiat currency or other asset, offering a more reliable medium of exchange and store of value compared to volatile cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And remember, it said the 1-to-1 ratio. So every Bitcoin is like American US dollar. And so they're already slowly, before the people's eyes, trying to, which it's not like it's new. So it's been ongoing, but merging digital coin with real coin or real dollars. All right, and then eventually the real paper fiat is going to be done away with, and everything is going to be digital coins. All right, or not, well, I guess you could say digital coins, digital currency is what I meant to say. All right, so that was what I put up here in a second window, what it says, what is stable coin in the most basic breakdown. All right, so what prompted me to do this, because I was listening to the elder. And it just came on my spirit to let me just punch these things up real quick. And so this is what the first thing I punched in, but I went back and made a second page to punch up the one about the stable coin. The reason why is because I saw it here when it says stable coins here. I said, you know what, let me go pull up another page. So here is, where's my question? Give me all information you have on the Genius Act. Not a question, that's a demand. Let's get to it. So overview of the Genius Act. And here's what's partly genius about it. Is how they do these things. They name these things. So the Genius Act really stands for the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stable Coins. And we just talked all about stable coins, which is why I brought that page up first. Okay, a 1-to-1 ratio from those stable coins, bitcoins, or whatever, with every dollar bill. All right. So $1 bill, one stable coin, vice versa. One stable coin, $1 bill. Right. So it stands for the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stable Coins, and they call it the Genius Act. And I believe that S stands for section, if I'm correct, but whatever. Or maybe not. It could be something else. 1582. So it says, is a piece of legislation designed to create a regulatory framework for stable coins in the United States. The act aims to provide clarity and structure to the rapidly growing stablecoin market, which currently has a value of approximately $238 billion. The primary goal is to enhance consumer and investor confidence, prevent regulatory arbitrage, reduce systemic risk, and encourage responsible innovation within the stablecoin sector. So basically, there's a lot of words here just to say that this is a big, huge stepping stone to moving everything digital. That's basically what they're saying here. All right, we want to basically move everything digital, and these are just smaller steps. The Genius Act passed the Senate on June 18th, 2025 with a vote of 68 to 30. All right, it is now that's not what the elder just brought up, so I don't know what they're talking about right here. Maybe if I look into it, maybe it does go back, but I know what the elder just brought up, so I'm going to go with that. But anyways, the point being is pretty much the same thing he talked about. All right, and so it says it is now under consideration in the House of Representatives, where it is expected to pass due to bipartisan support. Okay, maybe that was okay, yeah, so maybe what he was talking about was the House. I can't really remember. So yeah, so maybe it does go back to the Senate and then the House, and then it reaches Trump's desk, right? So where it is expected to pass due to bipartisan support. The bill is a part of a broader crypto week on Capitol Hill with other crypto-related bills. Oh wow, also being considered. I wonder what that entails, if anything. But actually, calling it a crypto week on, we all know about Capitol Hill, right? With other crypto-related bills also being considered. And it's very interesting. Key provisions of the Genius Act. The Genius Act establishes a framework for the issuance, regulation, and oversight of payment stablecoins. Key provisions include permitted issuers. The Act will limit stablecoin issuance to specific entities, including federally insured depository institutions, federally licensed non-bank entities, and state-regulated issuers under certain conditions. Reserve backing and transparency requirements. Right, stablecoins must be fully backed by liquid assets such as U.S. dollars or short-term treasuries on a 1-to-1 ratio basis. Issuers are required to make monthly public disclosures of reserve composition and valuation data and undergo annual independent audits. Regulatory oversight framework. The Act proposes a tiered oversight model involving federal and state regulators. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, would supervise federally licensed non-bank issuers while existing bank supervision would be preserved. State-regulated issuers could operate under the existing framework subject to federal coordination and reporting. All right, consumer protection measures, compliance and risk management. Let's see what else they got down here. Potential impacts and considerations. The Genius Act is expected to have a significant impact on the stablecoin market and the broader financial ecosystem. It can make stablecoins more mainstream by bolstering trust and encouraging more competition. The Act could also impact retailers, banks, and fintechs, potentially leading to a wider adoption of stablecoins as a there you go. See, a digital alternative, right, to the U.S. dollar. You see, because everything ultimately is that everything that's going digital, that moves away from the U.S. dollar, is going digital because it's moving towards the microchip. Okay, that's the main thing, right? Because it's moving towards the microchip. Here we go. However, the Act has faced criticism. Some critics argue that it compromises crypto's decentralization and could enable corruption. Others express concerns about the potential for the bill to give too many entities the ability to create new stablecoins, which can make enforcement of the regulation standards more difficult. Current status and next steps. As of July 16, 2025, the Genius Act is under consideration in the House of Representatives. All right. So, yep, that was what the elder was talking about. Okay. I might see if I can, because I got a few news clips. In a second here, I'm probably going to look some more up. Maybe I can find that and some other things that are happening in the world. And we get those a little later. But it says President Donald Trump has expressed his support for the act and expects it to pass. The House is also considering the other crypto-related bills, as we read up above, right? They called it, what was it? Crypto Week. Yeah, crypto. There's right there. Yep. There's right there. You see it? Crypto Week on Capitol Hill. Okay. So it says President Trump has expressed his support for the act and expects it to pass. The House is also considering other crypto-related bills, including the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. All right. It says market reactions. The news surrounding the Genius Act has already impacted the market. Bitcoin and Ethereum prices rose and shares of crypto-linked stocks like Circle and Coinbase increased. So that's pretty much it for that. Not too much information, but they gave you enough basic things there, I guess. But that was new. Going back up to it, Crypto Week on Capitol Hill. All right, that's interesting there. But yeah, like I said, I was just listening to the elders live stream. He was just doing it. Spirit was on me like, you know what? Let's punch this up, all right, and go read into it some more. And then that led me over there to the stablecoin page. But you know, we got it all in. Just more like a little helpful hints and info type of deal here. So that's pretty much all I have for you. So Lord willing, you will edify to the next time. That's all I'm going to say. Shalom.